Hello, welcome back to Small Talk, everybody. I am going to record a follow-up video on Tesla's earning. I have recorded a video on Thursday after the earning report was released. It was wonderful earning. It was better than stock market has expected. Stock market was expecting for Tesla's shares to be 60 cents per share, while Elon Musk reported 70 cents per share. Also, they had then also Elon Musk, his 2025 forecast was that he is hoping to increase the profit or the deliveries to about 20 to 30%, while the stock market had only anticipated about 10% growth in the 2025. This was an excellent earning report. However, I was reading some of the comments of some of these big banks and analysts, and particularly JP Morgan. I like them. I think they're fine. They're doing a great job. However, it just makes me laugh because I also know. So JP Morgan said that the margin that Tesla has reported, they're not sustainable, and I don't know how they could say this because if we look at um, the margin, it shows that yes, even though Tesla has been cutting its prices for almost 2 years now on their automobiles, at the same time they're still so profitable in this quarter, which means their underlying cost, not only the production cost, but also the cost of the raw material has been going down and is under control. And that's the key. And it's going to, the price of the production cost and the price of raw material is going to keep going down gradually. So I think it's very well sustainable. And not to mention that their profit, a large portion of their profit came from Cybertruck, even though their Cybertruck is very ugly and I don't like the design. And also, I've also read the news that Cybertruck is having problem navigating because of its pointy design. It's having problem navigating through the streets of Europe. And even then, not only that they've been selling at least 2,000 vehicle per week, but also they were profitable. If you look at the history of these pickup trucks are usually sold less compared to the cars anyway. And I didn't think that many people would buy a Cybertruck. I thought only very wealthy people would buy it because I would consider this as a luxury pickup truck as well. But I guess that's not the case. And average American is also buying, and it's being sold across the world in China and Europe as well. So their Cybertruck is the sales have grown up and they are profitable. So I don't know how JP Morgan can say that their profit is not sustainable. And as the time goes by, because we all know that due to the COVID, I mean, all the orders were back up and the chip shortage, the cost of production was higher, the raw material was expensive. Now that everything is back on track, I think the prices are going to keep going down as a result. They're not cutting the cost anymore on their existing cars, and their cost is going down. So they are very well able to maintain this profit, this margin in the next quarter and the quarters following that. So it just makes me laugh because I know Jamie Dimon has a problem with Elon Musk. They have an open court case, and that's why he's always trying to degrade Tesla whenever he gets an opportunity. I think he's a great person. He's lots of knowledge of the stocks and the market and banking system overall in general. I think they should both sit down and get this out of their system and talk it out and just end this court case that they have pending. And they should both work together to make this technology thrive. Elon Musk also said that he will introduce another mid 35K range vehicle next year. He has not shown a design of the vehicle, which is kind of strange, but I think early part of the 2025, that's like only a few months away. So he also gave an outlook on his full self-driving, and he said that they are going to introduce them in the early part of the 2025. They will be driving their FSDs in California and Texas or both, which is also an excellent news because before on October 10th event, obviously everybody was looking to hear something along the line, but they were not able to show it or at least describe it in more details. And this earning report, they give the stock market a look ahead, what to anticipate and what to look for in the next year. I've been saying for past 3 months the stock is at least worth 295 to $300. In my opinion, it would have been 295 to 300 if the robotaxi event was not postponed back in August. I think it would have reached that price target back then. However, it was delayed because they had to postpone their robotaxi event, and then the robotaxi event did not meet the expectations of the Wall Street, and therefore the stock crashed again. But now with these earning reports, the stock has gone up to, it closed at $269 today, which is Friday. So overall, I think the stock is gonna be doing well. The stock didn't rise as much today as I was expecting it to, and I think there's a pretty good reason. Wall Street is a little bit cautious because we have three big companies reporting their earnings next week. It's Microsoft, Google, and Meta, I believe. They're reporting earnings next week, and then we have the jobs data coming out, and then we also have elections after the week following, and then November 6th and 7th we have Fed meetings. So I don't blame the market, the stock exchange, to be cautious at this point because they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. They're going to sit there and wait and see how things roll out in the next couple of weeks. And then I think after that, the stock market is going to pick up, and Tesla is definitely going to 300. I was just reading some of the analysts and their price targets. They have raised their price targets for Tesla up to $315, which is awesome because that's what I was expecting, that it's at least $300 a share and beyond. I didn't want to go beyond. If it hit 295, 300, I would definitely take some profit at that point. So let's talk about, is this the the margin that they've reported, is that sustainable? We already discussed that. Yes, it is sustainable. If we look at the history of Tesla, back on May 9th, 2013, Tesla stock had a great quarter and they reported wonderful earnings for that quarter, and the stock went up over 20% in one day. And then a week later, the stock went up another 40%. And a month after May 9th event, the stock was up 141%. What happens is when you have wonderful quarter like this, the one that they reported on Thursday, it suddenly the analysts, they start raising their price targets, they start raising their expectations, and as a result, people buy in more. So, for example, the stock closed at $269 today on Friday. So the price target was raised up to $315. So some of the people who thought that the board's already sailed and they just missed the opportunity and they're never going to make profit on Tesla anymore, once they see the price target raised to $315 in the early part of next year, they will of course buy in at $269 price because they can still make some money off of it. So if they buy it at $269 and it sells at $310, $315, they still made good $55 profit per share, so which is not bad. And that's what keeps the stock rolling, and stocks and the company shares keep going up. Also, the outlook for the 2025, people have something to look forward to. People were hoping that Tesla would do something because for the past 3 years, Tesla shares have been sideways. They have not done anything exciting. They have not announced anything exciting. And I do understand that when it's a technology company and they're in the early stage of their technology, which these EV companies are still at early stage of their technology, there are lots of hiccups on the way, and sometimes they just cannot announce something exciting in every quarter. But that's not how Wall Street thinks. I think I've mentioned before that my husband has worked at so many of these EV companies in the past 6 years. And in fact, some of the venture capitals, they call these big venture capital companies call him and they interview him because he's the expert in the field and they want to invest into these tech and AI companies. And they talk to him and interview him to get his insight to see if it's worth it for them to invest into those companies. And I do listen to his conversation with him, And in his opinion, there is good 10 to 15 years gap before these companies are going to be profitable. So I think he's talking from a business point of view, but that's not how Wall Street functions. So sure, to have a real deep core profit, the companies are still fairly new. The technology is new, so they're not at the price level where they're supposed to be, and they're not at the profit level where they're supposed to be. However, I think Tesla is still way out of the game, and it is still making lots of money even as is. But yes, I do understand when he says it's a long way before the companies are going to be profitable, because he thinks he's a businessman. He thinks of as a business point of view. He's not thinking of it as a investor's point of view, or as a Wall Street point of view, how the Wall Street functions, how the investors think of it. Um, One of these days, I requested him to come to my show and see if we can do a podcast, and I can go into more nitty-gritty details. He can give us some insight of how and why he thinks what he thinks, and why he thinks the companies are not profitable. But he has not agreed to me yet. He said, no, you go ahead and record your videos. I'm not going to be part of this. Um, but again, I do talk to him a lot often, and he thinks that all these EV companies are still at a very early phase of their experiment with the AI, with the technology, with this FSD and robo taxi ride hailing, etc. It will take good 10 years, 15 years at least, or at least for them to be fully profitable. However, he worked for Cruise, and they have cars in California area and Bay Area, where he actually rode one of their full self-driving automobile. And they're obviously not 100% FSD. They are controlled by, some individuals sitting there who are programming it. So in order for them to be full self-driving, he thinks there's a long way before we can actually do this. But I think Elon Musk always gives us an overview. He thinks that it'll be in 2025, 2026, but I think it's going to be at least 3 years before it's full self-driving is going to be up and running. I also know that there are lots of other EV companies like Cruise, Rivian, and then some of the Chinese companies. They are doing pretty good. They already have their full self-driving in California and Texas area, and Tesla isn't there yet. However, there are lots of people who want to buy those cars, but they say, well, we don't have a choice but to buy Tesla because of the FSD it takes me to work. So people want to buy Tesla because of the FSD coming in early next year. The other cars, they're not at the full self-driving capacity yet. I know there are lots of issues with the safety, etc. But even as is, the way the technology is right now, it's safer than the human drivers. We know how many accidents we cause on a daily basis, but these self-driving cars are, even as is the way the technology is right now, before they correct it even more, it's still safer than the human drivers. So safety is not a concern, but of course there could be, a moment where there are going to be some ups and downs, and because the cars are on the road. And some people are of the opinion that the new car that Elon Musk spoke of in his earning report is the one that he showed on his robotaxi event, except that it's going to have a steering wheel. And the one that he showed, that's the same car without the steering wheel. So, but that's just a speculation. I don't know how true that is. And I don't know if that's the car, but it could be a possibility, because it has never happened in the past that Elon Musk has not shown a car at least a year ahead before he announced that he is releasing a new model which is cheaper and is going to be done. So maybe that was his way of revealing his new model without the steering wheel, and then he's going to put a steering wheel on it, and then they're going to sell them as a cheaper version of their cars. Also, um, the the older cars. Some people are of the concern that when these robotaxi or full self-drivings are selling in the market, what will happen to those older cars? People who bought them in early 2015, 2016 are those because they have older computers. So how is that going to affect? How's the resale value is going to be? Would they be able to list their cars as a ride hailing or not? So Elon Musk also announced that he will be offering the new computers for their existing cars. If he does that, I think that will be awesome. That will take the stock to the next level. he's going to be the hero of so many people, of so many Americans and the people across the world who have bought this car. The sales are growing up in China. It's going to grow up even more because of the stimulus check that the China has received. People have more buying power now, so they are going to buy more of these Tesla. So the bottom line is, I've read all these analysts and their price targets and their, what they think of the cars, and particularly JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon. I always smile when I say his name because that guy, yes, you have problem with Elon Musk and there's a court case, but that doesn't mean you have to degrade the car so much. Even the most bearish individuals at the stock market, even the short sellers, don't know what to say at this point after they saw the last earning report, because it was that amazing, that phenomenal. So for Jamie Dimon to lowball it, I think it's not a big deal. So those of you who are concerned that maybe they're just over exaggerating it, that's not true. If you look at the history, once they get good earning report, of course the price targets go up. People raise their expectations, and then they look at the future forecast, and then more and more people buy stock, more investors jump in, and the stock price end up going high. No guarantee that history will repeat itself, but I think that's exactly what is going to happen. And particularly because the stock has been doing nothing for past 3 years, I think the this was the one good thing that the entire market was looking for, and they got it. And that's how Wall Street works, and that's how stocks go up, and that's how companies thrive and people make money. So be positive, be hopeful, not a personalized financial advice. As I told you before, I'm still invested heavy in Tesla. And again, I keep telling you this in every video. If the price goes up to 295, 300, I'm going to take some profits. I will still hold some shares because 4 analysts has buy rating, 5 of them has hold rating. So only 1 or 2, I think, said it's a sell because it has jumped up so much. But that, I don't think it's a sell at this point. Hold, definitely. Buy, maybe, depending on what your viewpoint is. If you think of this as a long-term investment, definitely buy. But if you're looking for a short-term swing trade, hold, absolutely. After the election and after November 5th and November 6th and 7th, the Fed meeting, I think it'll be a good time to sell at that point. If you want to do a swing trade, you will make a decent amount of money. Enjoy, have fun. Again, cheers to Tesla. Those of you who are invested, those of you who are not invested, again, maybe before the elections it will drop a little bit again. I don't know, because it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Maybe it will slow down going up. The other thing I wanted to discuss is, I forgot, the Tesla shares have been struggling to go above 270 levels. If it breaks 270 level, I think it's going to go straight up to 295, $300. So we have to be careful and watch and see what happens at 270 levels. We saw that today it was stuck at 269 and not go up $269. It closed at $269.19, I believe, the last price I checked. So we have to watch 270 level very closely and make sure that once it breaks 270, I think there is no other stop in between up to $295, and I think my price target will reach, and then I will take some profits. Again, not a personalized financial advice. Please give my video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please give me your thoughts on the comment section below. If you have any concerns, please do let me know. If you want me to record another video on some other stocks, I have already promised to record a video on Nvidia and Palantir. The only problem is I barely have any time. Even today, it's like really late at night. I'm in my basement again recording this video because everybody else is sleeping. Unfortunately, I'm a very busy woman. And God bless to those YouTubers who record 4 or 5 videos a day. I don't know how they do it, how they get the time. I have children, I have a spouse, we have a business to run. I help my husband with his business. I'm taking care of my kids, and I'm running errands around the house all day long. So by the time I get to 10 p.m., I'm so tired that I don't have energy to talk for a good 10-15 minutes, and that's why I don't record video. But this Tesla has been making me very excited since yesterday, so I thought I should give a follow-up video for those who are feeling a little reluctant to maybe they should sell or not sell. But I think Tesla stock is going to do great unless something drastic happens. If everything goes smooth with their earning report, with the forecast, I think there's no stopping for Tesla. But again, it's Wall Street. Anything could happen. So don't bet all your money on Tesla. Please be very wise and very smart before you invest. Until next video, take care.